It's time for another half hour of Hatteberg's People.
And here are some of the stories we'll show you this week.
Take advantage of today. Take advantage of the moment. Don't worry too much about what tomorrow may hold, because you can't do much about it anyway.
Sage advice from a man who has studied life and death from all directions. Discover how Father Tom Welk finds joy in both and strives to help others do the same. Also,
come on, honey. Let's go to Mommy. Because you climb up there and you get hurt.
Her life's mission was to help people of all ages cope with the hardships of poverty. She was indeed an angel living among us, living a life worth revisiting that may inspire some of us to do more for those in need. Plus,
it's like a beautiful symphony going on. And I don't know the entire mystery. I cannot see the entire cast. I just have to play my small instrument and do the very best that I possibly can.
Balbir Mather saw the big picture when it came to lifting people up. He established an organization to fight poverty in developing nations and found strong support in the Wichita community to make it work. Learn about his mission that is striving to change the world. And
when I grow up and I become an engineer, I want to not think that I'm working. I want to just think that I'm playing and I'm getting paid for it.
Big things never happen without big dreams. This Wichita teen wanted his life's work to be building and designing amusement parks. Learn why he was so passionate about it and whether he's yet reached that dream more than a decade later. Also,
it's been a lot of fun over the years. We have a lot of good memories from the past, as well as we're still having fun here.
there are tree houses, and then there are tree houses. Wait till you see this one. Built by the Wolfe family in rural Garden Plain, as it was in 1984, and then find out what became of it. Hello, everyone. I'm Susan Peters.
And I'm Larry Hatteberg. We'll have those stories and more on this week's edition of Hatteberg's People. These stories are like old friends. Their lives radiate from the screen like prophets of the past. They were teachers, but not in a classroom. Instead, they taught about life to those around them who cared to listen, and I was their student. For each and every one of us, our days are numbered, and the time is approaching when we'll leave this earth for wherever and whatever comes next.
Well, the man in our first story devotes his life to helping people make that transition and helping their loved ones let go and say goodbye.
Dr. Tom Welk has helped bring peace and comfort to so many Kansans who are facing the inevitable.
And I tell the people, get rid of that notion. We are not about death. We are about life, about living. We are about life and living, again, to the very last moment.
For 25 years, Dr. Tom Welk has walked the halls of hospice service. He has become an expert on end-of-life issues.
I think once people get an opportunity to talk about what's on their mind and in their hearts, it gives them a lot of peace. I don't consider it work. I consider it more, you talking about one of the senators? For lack of a better word, my mission, my purpose, my reason to be. What I most of the time come out with is a word of thanks for being able to enter into the life of this person. And I really enter into that life where they are. What I said earlier is so true. I don't enter where I am. And the other thing I really do when I walk in, I look beyond the physical. I always will look into their eyes, because that's where the beauty of the person is. And then all of a sudden, boom, versus with cancer. And in many instances, I need to tell you, I will spend more time with family. Many times the patient is farther along in acceptance than the family is. Again, it's very important because many patients will hang on knowing that loved ones aren't ready. I'm there to put the fun in the funeral. And I know that sounds irreverent. I need to be careful as to who's asking the question and how I'm answering it. But the one thing I say to them immediately is, yes, we can be sad about this person's death. We miss them, but we want to celebrate their life. Put the fun into their life again.
It is a life's work that can take an emotional toll. Outside, he tends a garden. Inside, trees are turned to art like clocks and rocking chairs.
There's no way, if I've said it over and over, you can take care of anyone if you've not taken care of yourself. But when you're doing something like this, you know, I'll just sit back sometimes and I'll take a look at that chair or these clocks. And you know, you just have a return for your efforts. And again, I think that's very healthy. That's therapy for me anyway. Take advantage of today. Take advantage of the moment. Don't worry too much about what tomorrow may hold, because you can't do much about it anyway. I feel that what I am doing makes a difference. It has purpose. And I think anytime any human being has that sense of meaning and purpose, it's fulfilling.
Okay, such important work. Very, very challenging, but very important work.
Yes, and he's a very nice man.
Yeah, and we all have to remember, which we forget a lot, that death is a part of life, and it just is. It's part of the human condition.
It is.
Tom Welk, by the way, still serves as Director of Education and Pastoral Care at Harry Hines Memorial Hospice.
And he's still doing all those other things as well and not slowing down a bit. And in case you didn't know, he is indeed a cousin of the late great band leader, Lawrence Welk.
Isn't that cool?
All the millennials out there have, who's Lawrence
that?
Welk? What is a Lawrence Welk? Well, for those of us who remember, we know what we're talking about.
We know what we're talking about. All right, here's another kind soul who devoted her life to caring for others.
Sister Ida Wolfe is one of those people from a past generation who set an example for the rest of us.
Recognize these faces? No reason you should. They are the children of Wichita's poor. This woman knows those faces well. Sister Ida Wolfe, a quiet woman who knows how cruel life can be. In 1973, she retired as a hospital nurse to help the poor. She came here to this tiny, cramped office at the Perpetual Help Center in the 2400 block of North Market. She saw that the people needed food.
No, that's rice. And the other one back there is beans.
She gave them food.
You have a nice day now today.
She found that they needed clothes.
Do you have a girl that can wear this? One of your girls?
Yes.
Nino?
She gave them clothes.
You want one like this? Okay.
Now, as many as 50 families a day visit Sister Ida. Restrictions are few. If a family needs help with either food or clothes, the sister and her volunteers are there.
And just put it on the floor there in the gym.
The clothes are donated. The food comes from the food bank and also from local donations. She says Wichitans would be surprised if they could see the depth of poverty that she sees daily.
I don't think that many of them even think that there's that much. And because I have talked to a few of them, and they just couldn't believe that there were people that were that poor.
Sister Ida is 75 years old. Most of her life has been spent in the service of her faith.
Okay.
She could have retired years ago.
Have a nice day.
But she saw a need.
You know, and that's what our Lord asked us to do, to take care of his poor. And the poor you always have with you. Come on, honey. Let's go to Mommy. Because you climb up there and you get hurt. Come on, let's go into Mommy so you don't get hurt.
When the poor need help, Sister Ida is there in her tiny office, waiting, with food, with clothing, and with a quiet assurance that comes only with inner peace. Sister Ida Wolfe, one of Wichita's quiet heroes.
We never have enough. We always use some more of something.
Now, that was 1985. The time period, the names, the faces, well, they may all be different now, but the problems, they never go away.
Sister Ida kept working to help the poor as long as she could. She passed away 2 years after that story aired at the age of 76.
And she was one of those people who just enjoyed helping people. And you could tell, and I could tell when I did the story, as she's working with people, she had the gift.
Did she?
Not everybody has the gift
not everybody does.
for working with people. She did, and she would just light up when she knew she was helping someone.
Isn't
You
that
could just
neat?
see it in her.
Got a lot of satisfaction out of that.
Oh, yeah, so much.
Well, poverty occurs everywhere, and the man in this next story has focused his work in places where help is often harder to get.
Now, you've probably heard of the organization Trees for Life, but do you know exactly what it does? Well, it's headquartered right here in Wichita and was founded by Balbir Mather.
And people come to understand that their basic hindrance is not in lack of resources, but in their lack of knowledge.
Trees for Life is located in this old school building in Wichita, but its power lies in the quiet hearts of the people whose vision branches out all over the world.
What is this? Yes, very good.
Working together, their silence is changing lives.
And every day I come, I look forward to coming here because, as I say, I come here to dance with the angels, literally.
It started with Balbir Mather from India, who came to this country and studied business management. But through his extensive world travels, he saw a need to fight poverty and world hunger.
People don't need giveaways, people need hope, people need knowledge. And my system of management consulting in the United States was not very effective.
In 1983, he founded Trees for Life, a nonprofit agency that most think simply helps people in poor countries plant trees. But it is so much more than that.
If you're passionate about it, you want people to have the dignity to help themselves. And I think what Trees for Life does particularly well is show people how to help themselves.
Balbir and his staff empower people in poor countries with information and show them that working together means they will grow together.
And one of the fundamental rules is that when a few people, they can get together and lock their minds as one, something extraordinary takes place.
It was hope in its clearest, most beautiful sense that I've ever seen.
We have to do our best right now, but think 1,000 years ahead. How will your action affect 1,000 years from now? Because they do.
The Trees for Life organization is like the roots of a giant tree, unseen and quiet, but so necessary for growth. By working with people and letting them see the power of their own minds, this nearly invisible organization is changing the world, one tree, one life, one heart at a time.
For those of us that have the ability to reach out and touch those people who really need our help, I've not seen anybody do it as well as Trees for Life.
It's like a beautiful symphony going on. And I don't know the entire mystery. I cannot see the entire cast. I just have to play my small instrument and do the very best that I possibly can. Whatever you learn, teach it to 2 other people and ask them to do the same. We say to people that you have unlimited potential, and we sincerely, honestly believe that.
Wow, what a legacy. I can't think of anything better. Balbir he's an angel. You know, he's a gift from God.
Yeah, brother.
After 33 years, Balbir retired from Trees for Life in 2016, but he's still involved with the organization, and he serves as a consultant. As a matter of fact, last week he and I had lunch together.
You did not.
Talk about the old days.
That's so cool.
It is fun. I still occasionally meet people
You
who
keep
we've done
in
stories
touch
on.
with
We
a
keep
lot
in
of
touch.
Hatteberg's
Absolutely.
people. I love that about
It
you,
is.
Larry.
Oh, you're so
You're
sweet.
still so interesting.
Well, I don't know about that, but I meet interesting people.
You sure do. Well, now to a Wichita teenager who wanted to share the gift of fun with the rest of the world.
Now, Alex East loved amusement parks and thought what a great career it would be to build and design them. That was back in 2008.
My amusement park called Land Adventure. It's a model amusement park. I have about 15 rides. When I turn it on and light it up, it's just really something that you have to see for yourself.
Each day when he comes home from his 8th grade classes at Wilbur Junior High, Alex East has another world waiting for him. It is here, in his basement, where he creates his own world of a miniature amusement park.
I decided that I would make a model of an amusement park and just kind of build stuff and see how it turns out.
It turned out pretty well.
When I grow up and I become an engineer, I want to not think that I'm working. I want to just think that I'm playing and I'm getting paid for it.
To Alex, these aren't toys. They are very possibly his future job.
Yeah, I'm thinking about KU engineering. I've heard that they have good engineering classes there.
Alex has it all planned out. After his degree, he'll design an amusement park, but he won't put his first one in Wichita.
Because, of course, a few other theme parks haven't made it here, but I would be planning to come back if my first theme park was successful, and I would want to make a second amusement park here in Wichita.
Now, in case you're wondering, his amusement park is made from plastic construction sets called Connects.
I'm either at my happiest when I'm doing this or when I'm going to a new amusement park. If you're gonna be something when you grow up, you're gonna have to work hard for it. And if you really like it a lot, you're gonna be able to work hard for it.
Now, just 3 years later, at age 17, Alex organized an effort to try to rebuild Wichita's shuttered Joyland amusement park.
He asked the city council for $10 million. He didn't get it. Then Alex and other volunteers tried to raise the money on their own, but that was a pretty big challenge.
Now, in the end, it didn't work out, but Alex enrolled in Butler Community College and got a degree in hotel and restaurant management, something a little different, and is now a business analyst for the Hyatt Hotel Corporation in Chicago. Who would have guessed? You know, that
Isn't that cool?
It's fascinating to me how life's tracks go off in different directions, and you go off, and he was interested in building amusement parks.
Right.
Didn't work out, so you take the next road.
As they say, when one door closes, another one opens, just walk down that path.
And he did.
Well, it's not exactly an amusement park, but a rural Sedgwick County family had a mighty fun attraction in their backyard.
Yeah, this was a great little story. I love this. Take a look at this story from 1984.
You've probably seen tree houses before, but I'll bet you haven't seen one like this. The elder Wolfe family of rural Garden Plain, Kansas began building this tree house in 1975. Nestled in the boughs of a 100-year-old cottonwood, the house has all the comforts of a real home, as demonstrated by the Wolfes' 3 daughters. It has electricity, hot and cold running water, a stove, a refrigerator, and lots of memories.
It's been a lot of fun over the years. We have a lot of good memories from the past, as well as we're still having fun here.
If anything, it means more now than it did before. Oh, it's some place where we can all come down and be together.
Now, if you think you've seen everything this mansion in the sky offers, just hold up a minute. Way up, 20 feet above the main room, is the Falcon's Nest, a place where you can watch the rest of the world go by.
It's nice just to be able to look down and know no one else can see you up here. Kind of our hideout.
Below the Falcon's Roost is a swinging bridge that goes across a spring-fed stream. It's right out of Tom Sawyer. The whispering cottonwoods, the stream, and a lazy summer day. What more could you want? Well, you could want a bathroom. Now, don't go getting skeptical on me. That's right, I said a bathroom. The Wolfes call it their uppity outhouse because it's located where else? In a tree.
Well, we've got the sink with hot and cold water and the shower and the flush stool.
Now, what Kay Wolfe forgot to mention was the hot water heater located next to the shower. Not bad for a treehouse. For the Wolfes, their aerial home is a place to unwind, a place to dream, and as time passes, like it always does, and these girls have gone their separate ways, like girls always do, then this will be a place to return to that will always rekindle those childhood memories of summers gone and good times past. I'm Larry Hatteberg.
And that's exactly what the Wolfe girls have been doing through the years. Then, a few years ago, Kay says her nephew and his son restored the treehouse to top form. Now they hope it'll stay standing for generations to come. I wish you could have been there, Susan, because you would have enjoyed this.
Oh my God, I can't believe it has running water, electricity, restroom. Did you use the restroom?
I did not. No.
I wouldn't have
Thanks
either,
for bringing
but...
that up in front of everybody.
But you climbed all the way to the top. Were you frightened at all?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
I don't like heights.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man.
But they do, and they built this incredible. What they did, they not only built a treehouse, they built a memory.
A memory.
For generations.
For generations.
Yeah,
exactly. A tradition.
Yep.
Love
That's it.
Well, we all know that Larry loves doing stories about charming small-town diners and the interesting people who run them.
Now, this next story is about a little place in Anthony, in a building that was actually built right here in Wichita. It's an important piece of Kansas history and one of the last of its kind still around.
Bob's Diner. Okay. I've got French fries or tater tots.
It sits on Main Street among the towering grain elevators in Anthony. Bob's Diner is a history project come alive for Bob and Carol Hamilton.
Okay, gonna eat it here or to go?
Oh, eat it here. Yeah.
Okay.
Both who now have barely time to talk because they're dishing out hamburgers.
It's utter chaos. There you go, hot off the press.
So why is this little diner so important? Well, it's been vacant for 27 years, and it's important because it was one of the so-called Valentine diners, little 10-stool hamburger joints made popular after World War II.
I think this is about a 48, 49 model is when it was built. It was number 658 is the serial number on it, and they made around 3,000 of them. It's an antique diner, basically.
It was Bob's idea, basically, and I thought he was crazy.
All the pieces and parts were here, and so it was just a matter of refurbishing it, and new wiring, new plumbing, lots of elbow grease and getting it going again.
The restoration included removing 6 layers of floor tile and a host of other fixes. But for those who remember the original diner, which by the way was called the Green Spot, this is a welcome and tasty piece of history.
And to see people's reaction when they walk in here that haven't been here for years, and it's like, wow, you know, this is the way we remember it. It's been fun to see it come back to life.
Bob and Carol ran this tiny eatery for a couple of years, and then they moved on to other things. And for the past 9 years, the diner has been owned and operated by Jesus Cantu.
I'm so glad it's still open.
It is. It's still there.
I'm so glad. It is now called the Roadrunner Diner, named after the local high school mascot. Now, Jesus says, business is booming. Don't you love that? They specialize in breakfast and old-fashioned hamburgers and fries. The people love it, and they're always sharing memories about the place going back to the 1940s. And to know that building, that tiny little building goes back so far, it's just wonderful.
It is, and it has such a fascinating history because all those Valentine diners were all manufactured in a factory in Wichita, and then they were shipped out all across the country. And they were built until the 1970s.
Really?
So when you're having a hamburger in this little place, you're having a hamburger in history.
In history, then you're absolutely right. Those are all the classics we could bring, all the history we could dig out of the Hatteberg vault for this week. They were doozies, weren't they, as always? Great work, Larry Hatteberg.
Doozies?
They were doozies.
Doozies, all right. Thanks, and thanks to everybody who watches the show each week. And remember, if you have a question or a comment, please share it with us. Our email address is hattebergspeople@kpts.com. throes.org.
Until next time, I'm Susan Peters.
And I'm Larry Hatteberg. Take care now. We'll see you again soon.